So Sully tells the story of Captain Chesley Sullenberger, the airline pilot who was successfully able to land an airplane into the Hudson River without any casualties after a major malfunction. And it also shows that Tom Hanks is apparently the best captain in the world. So let me just lay this out there. I hate planes. Not the Cars spinoff, I just hate planes. Although, the movie's pretty terrible now that I think about it. A lot of people love being high up in the atmosphere looking down at the world below, and I just find it absolutely terrifying. As a matter of fact, planes are actually right below women on my things to be afraid of list, which is a very exclusive list. It's very difficult to get on there. Basically, I hate flying. Does that make me a baby? Yes, but that's besides the point. Actually, that's exactly the point. So I was moderately excited for this movie. I mean, you have Tom Hanks, who's a great actor in pretty much everything that he does, and you also have Clint Eastwood directing.
Go ahead. Make my day.
He's made some pretty good movies like Gran Torino and Invictus, but he's also made some not so great movies like Jersey Boys and J. Edgar. It's just that Clint Eastwood has a very specific style. It's very dark, it's very gritty. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm really happy that it doesn't suffer from the desaturation syndrome that other Clint Eastwood movies suffer from. I thought the best scene of this entire movie is when the plane actually crashes. There's actually a lot of suspense and tension in that scene, even though pretty much everyone knows what happened at the end. When a movie is able to create tension and suspense when you already know what's gonna happen, I think that's pretty impressive. And also, do I really need to say that Tom Hanks was good in this movie? I mean, I think that's kind of just expected at this point. I mean, he's been Woody, he's been Forrest Gump, he's been Captain Phillips, he's been that guy in those really boring Da Vinci Code movies, but he's good in those too, because he's Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks is good in everything. I also thought Aaron Eckhart did a really good job in this movie. If you don't know who he is, he played Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. He did a really good job of adding a bit more humor and levity to the movie, and I firmly believe that even the most darkest of dark, depressing movies need a little bit of humor in it.
Our job is to investigate how a plane ended up in the Hudson River. On the Hudson.
So it's well acted, well directed, well written. This should be an amazing, great movie, right? Well, not really. To me, this feels like a really good 45-minute HBO special that was dragged out to an hour and a half. That is an HBO special that doesn't have the extreme inappropriateness and profanity that most HBO content has, which I, of course, don't watch since I'm a good Catholic schoolboy. Long live the Starks, death to the Lannisters. Anyway, this movie has a ridiculous amount of filler in it.
I'm telling Mother.
For some reason, Clint Eastwood wanted to take the Pulp Fiction route and not tell the movie chronologically. And what that means is that the movie actually starts after the water landing and after the crash, and you see like pieces of it as the movie goes on. I didn't really feel that was entirely necessary, and it just made the movie longer than it needed to be. Which is saying something because the movie is only an hour and a half long. Like I said, I really like the plane crash sequence. It's easily the best part of the movie, but it just didn't really need to be told in that specific way. There's also a smallish amount of time focused on the passengers of the plane, which also didn't feel needed. They're not well developed at all. They just kind of show up and they just had more screen time than they absolutely had to have. And you also have the incredibly unnecessary flashback sequences to when Sully was a younger pilot. Those could have been taken out of the movie entirely. But the worst of it all is that ending courtroom scene. Oh, that ending courtroom scene. Not only does it go on forever, but it plays a scene in its entirety that we already saw earlier in the movie. If it revealed like new information that we didn't know yet, that would be one thing, but I just sat there watching it and I was like, why are you showing me this? I saw this already. I don't need to see it again. I just kind of feel like some true stories don't really need a movie. That's why there's so much filler in this movie, because there's just not enough story to talk about. I guess it's better than just making stuff up, but it makes the movie feel so much longer and so much more boring. Like I said before, it's well directed, well written, well acted. It's just kinda tedious and kinda boring at a lot of points. I would definitely say it's worth watching, but you're not gonna miss much if you don't see it at the movie theater. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm Aiden and I like movies. See you guys later.